Welcome to Barbados, the island of your dreams. With its sun-kissed beaches, clear blue skies and friendly locals, this playground of the rich and famous is perfect for your destination wedding. In this show, we meet a wedding planner whose knowledge of this paradise island is second to none.
Island Bliss plans weddings on any part of the island. Just as long as you're on firm ground, we can do it for you. Hilltop, beachsides, restaurants, Harrison's Cave in the middle of a cave.
She promises to plan your wedding from inception to reception.
All you have to do is dream it and we will plan it for you.
And we get the lowdown on places you can stay, including the Discovery Bay Beach Hotel, your one-stop shop for a Caribbean wedding, Barbados style.
We have a lot of persons who want to get away for weddings, have cozy sunshine weddings in the Caribbean, and obviously Rex Resorts is the place to be.
Plus, every exotic venue you could wish for, as we guide you through your wish list to this top tropical destination. Our whistle-stop tour includes an abbey, a venue filled with orchids, the restaurant voted #1 in the whole of the Caribbean, and even some island caves for the adventurous amongst you.
Harrison's Cave wedding is for the kind of bride who wants to get away from the norm, the person who goes off the beaten track.
Even the bishop can't control his emotions when it comes to his love of the country.
I remember one wedding that was done just alongside of the lake, and that was done in a very early morning, and the idea was that they wanted to capture the lilies as they were opened, and that was fantastic. That was beautiful.
So sit back and relax as we focus on Barbados. First up, meet Hal Arthur and his team at the Discovery Bay Beach Hotel by Rex Resorts.
My name is Hal Arthur. I'm the general manager. This hotel has 88 rooms. It's located on a fantastic beach, one of the best beaches on the west coast of Barbados. We're centrally located in this small town of Old Town. In addition to being on a great beach, we're quite close to banks, restaurant, any type of nightlife, water sports. We're complemented by a very friendly, committed, professional staff, which has earned us a very, very high rate of repeat clientele. We have a very experienced, friendly and professional wedding coordinator who go the extra mile to please anyone interested in getting married.
I'm Jennifer Holder, front office supervisor here at Discovery Bay by Rex Resorts. Basically, my role is to assign rooms, make sure that everybody's happy once they're here, jack of all trades, make sure that everything is in place once we have weddings planned and all that. This is our beachfront club room. If you are coming here for your wedding, we will try and upgrade you to this category. Small property, lots of locations for weddings here at Rex Resort again. Here we have another garden setting in the back of our properties. If you want to have a cozy wedding away from the public's eye, this is the place to have it done. Again, this can be set up to your requirements. Your every wish is our command. Most of the weddings that we cater for are basically visitors to the island. We have a lot of persons who want to get away for weddings, have cozy sunshine weddings in the Caribbean, and obviously Rex Resorts is the place to be.
We've had, to be honest with you, persons ranging from first-timers to persons who looking to renew vows. So it's quite a variety of persons, actually.
We have a lot of British as well as American couples that would come to Barbados to be married. You find that the British couples, they usually like resort weddings, where we would have the gazebo over here set up and so forth with all the flowers and so forth and all that. Then the American now, he's a bit more, challenging. He would prefer to have a beach wedding where he's in his shorts and his slippers and all that. It's a wedding with a difference, really, that we offer here. Just behind me here, we have our gazebo area, which is well known for its use with our British clientele because they're interested more in the traditional type wedding. It can hold up to about 10, 12 persons, witnesses, the priest, our coordinators always there to make sure that everything falls into place. And just beside that, we have our table setting, which is very nicely set up that you can sign your book and so forth and so on.
It has a very unique setting. It's designed around old colonial style. It's very unique in its own way, but it has a very, very friendly and professional staff.
Our grounds are very small but quaint, full of gardens, flowering plants, trees, everything, cozy settings. One of the things that I think for Barbados is it's a beautiful island. It's the temperature, sunshine, everything is always there. It's always a good setting. The only offsetting being the rain, and even in the rain in Barbados, we say it's a shower of blessing. So either way, it's good weather conditions for weddings. So you walked in and you're interested in getting married. The first thing you need to know, just be on the island for 3 days. It's as easy as that. We hook you up with a wedding coordinator, and once you've been on the island for 3 days, then the paperwork starts. We take you to the registry where you do all your paperwork. We arrange for the priest or person of your choice to come in to do that wedding for you. If you want to have a photographer in place, we have photographers on call. It's very easy.
My name is Alric Gaskin from Gaskin Photographic Services Limited. We do a lot of wedding photography and social photography here on the island. We do a lot of work in the hotels. We work at various hotels, actually. We've been doing the wedding photography for over nearly 30 years, 25 to 30 years now. I always try to make my brides especially relax. Once they're relaxed, you get the best out of them then, you know, because most of the time it's usually a tense moment, especially for the brides. We like to have them calm and composed, let them know that's the best day of their lives. It's one of the best days of their lives. And whatever we can project for them is going to be recorded in the photograph. So you need to look pleasant and look happy at all times. The beaches, for instance, are one of the most fantastic areas you can have. We can do the sunset and the palm trees. Because Barbados is such a tropical island, most of the weddings being done over here are very tropical and very pretty, actually, especially when you get the nice beach scenes. The bride and groom on the beach, walking on the beach is very popular. Now, we do quite a bit of that sort of setting. Apart from the portraiture of it, which is like the full-length portraits and the close-ups, candid shots are also nice. We usually use the gazebo. The gazebo, we use that one for the ceremony and the cake sticking. And then we normally go on the lawn, take some pictures on the lawn with the palm trees in the background to give it that nice Caribbean flavor. And then, of course, we go on the beach. Depending the time of the day, and we get some beautiful sunsets, we normally like to tie in some sunset shots.
I'm Vernon Prophet, the food and beverage coordinator here at Discovery Bay. We have 3 wedding packages here at Discovery Bay. We have the ginger lily, the hibiscus, and the bougainvillea. We offer a bougainvillea wedding at Discovery Bay Hotel. And on your arrival, we put a bouquet of flowers in your room, a bottle of champagne, and on your day, we give you a wedding cake and an extra bottle of champagne.
Hello, my name is Linford Grace. I'm the head chef at Discovery Bay Wets Resort. We do offer a wide variety of dishes for those that are coming to Discovery Bay by Wets.
We have a Caribbean buffet night. We have barbecue. And in addition to this, we also offer a array of a la carte dishes.
And our dishes, sometimes it includes a little bit of West Indian, Bajan, Caribbean. For the weddings, we offered a Magalo dinner, which is consisted of either you have lobster, you have shrimp, you have beef, you know, lamb, anything of your choice. Well, maybe if you don't like any of the meats, we offer you a vegetarian dish, but we're here aim to please.
Here we are at another Rex location for Caribbean weddings on the beach. You're fully surrounded by water, sun, sea, sand, which is well known in the Caribbean. We operate according to your requests. If you want to have a natural setting, we are surrounded by it. If you want to have a floral setting, that can be done. If you want to have an arch-like setting, that can also be offered as well. Our resort, as well as catering to weddings, is a family-type resort. We are known for repeat clientele that have been coming for probably 30, 40 years, just as long as the hotel has been standing. And included in those repeats, we also have lots of wedding couples that would come back to celebrate anniversaries. We even have wedding couples who return to spend a day with us at the hotel, even though they're not staying at the hotel, because of great memories with Rex Resorts.
What a place! And we have plenty more where that came from as we continue our Paradise Island tour. After the break, we meet top wedding planner Jean Hill, who shows us the cream of the crop when it comes to venues in the beautiful Barbados. Situated amid the tropical Caribbean Sea on its west coast and the warm climes of the Atlantic Ocean in the east, Barbados is the place to be for destination weddings. And don't be fooled by its size. The 166 square miles of sun-drenched island hold a plethora of fairy tale wedding destinations. Jean Hill from Island Bliss Weddings explains.
My name is Jean Hill. My company name is Island Bliss Weddings. Basically, I'm a wedding planner, and I execute your wedding from inception to reception. Island Bliss plans weddings on any part of the island. Just as long as you're on firm ground, we can do it for you. Hilltop, beachsides, restaurants, Harrison's Cave in the middle of a cave. All you have to do is dream it and we will plan it for you. We're at Gun Hill Signal Station. This location is protected by the National Trust of Barbados. At Gun Hill, you have views panning across most of the island. You can actually see the Bridgetown Cruise Terminal. My typical bride would be our destination weddings, people coming from the UK, US, Canada, basically not knowing much about the island at all. They just need someone to hold their hand every step of the way, ensuring that they have the correct vendors, people who will show up on time, people who will not overcharge them. I am that person. I am your best friend for the next 9 months. We believe that our brides can be shoppers as well. So when we offer you a preliminary budget, we offer you prices that you yourself can go out in the market and find. So there's no markups, there's no hidden costs. After the wedding, you don't get a, oops, I forgot this, or we forgot to add the VAT. We give you the prices that you find in the market, and we get the best prices for you. We're at Codrington College, and it is located in St. John. It's on the east side of Barbados. And Codrington College is a special location for people who are interested in history, as Codrington College is a place where Barbadians and people within the Caribbean come to study to be a priest.
My name is Ian Rock. I'm the principal here at the college and having responsibility for the administration of the college in general.
Here at Codrington College, we have a very quaint chapel which can hold approximately 80 people, which would include your family, friends, and close relatives, which is very close-knit. And as you can see, the surroundings in here, everything is done in mahogany.
Typically, weddings here are done on a very ecumenical basis. We do not differentiate on denomination at all. To begin with, the groom and best man will be seated here on my left, and the bridal party would assemble at the door. As the bridal party comes up the aisle in the chapel, the best man and groom would come and stand in front of me here. After that, there's a blessing, and during that blessing, the sanctuary is closed, and the couple alone would kneel here and receive their blessing. We have had weddings here in the chapel, small weddings, and they have been very, very graceful. We have seen some fantastic decorations being done in the little space that we have.
Upon entering through the arches behind me, it leads you onto a massive garden, and your backdrop for that garden would be the East Coast, the rugged East Coast with the waves and so on. So it gives you a rugged background, but yet still the location is quite tranquil. Also, there's a lovely pond with all your lilies, so it's a fantastic opportunity for photographers to use this here for mirror images.
I remember one wedding that was done just alongside of the lake, and that was done in a very early morning. And the idea was that they wanted to capture the lilies as they were open. The lilies tend to go in with the sun, and that couple wanted to capture the open lilies as the background for their wedding. And that was fantastic. That was beautiful.
For me, Codrington College holds a special place in my heart, and I hosted my first large wedding here. And it was quite magical to have the Bentley come down the driveway with the palm trees lining them all the way right down to the entrance with the huge cross there, and all the guests waiting to meet the bride and the groom. And it was truly magical. If you're doing a destination wedding and you're thinking about just coming out as just two of you, it'd be quite nice to use a chapel here, as it has historic value. And then you can do a small reception on the gardens with maybe you and your wedding planner and the priest. And that way you would not have to put any canopies. But if you're thinking about having a big party come over, you can do both on the grounds, and it would cost for you to put up tenting, and it can be quite magical in the evenings. As this location is quite quiet and you have very little traffic around here, it's actually your location for your perfect wedding event. Previous to owning Island Bliss Weddings, I was the wedding planner for one of the hotels on the South Coast. And that was a wonderful experience, and that's what's led me to having my own company today. Island Bliss Weddings have grown from strength to strength. Our first wedding was 200 people, and it was like, wow. And we created a wow moment for that couple at Codrington College back in August. For a destination wedding, for a bride that's never been to the island before, her main concern would be, can the services actually, the vendors provide the service? Would they be on time? Because everybody thinks that we live on an island and everything is laid back, but when it comes to weddings, all of our vendors are spot on, always on time. And I guess photography and videography would be the main thing because those will be your lasting memories. But the photographers and videographers on the island, they've been around for quite some time and they're good. And they can match up to the international standards.
My name is Gordon Phillips. What I do for a living, video. A lot of weddings, graduations, etc. The variety of places we can do weddings here. It's on the beach. Most people like the beach. A place called Long Bay in St. Philip. Very good location. Also do weddings on yachts, cruise ship weddings and all kinds of things. We do like that. My typical clients mostly foreigners. Like mostly get English, a lot of English visitors to Barbados. So most of my weddings are English couples get married in Barbados. One of my favorite videos, the guys, after they finish it, and I carry and show them, they actually cried. Definitely cried. Because they weren't expecting like that. The way I had it done, the sunset, I do the wedding before any sunset. When I put in edit and put in the sunset, they were surprised of that video. One of my favorite weddings. It was a small wedding. The service lasts about 7 minutes. And after 7 minutes, then we have to edit the video. We have to put in scenes of Barbados in the video. Then we carry them on the beach, put in slow motion, cutting the cake, meeting the friends, grouping the friends, and all kinds of things. And then we took some of the same pictures that the photographer did. We added into the video and give some smooth dissolves.
I'm John Chandler. I'm the owner of Fish Upon Great House. I've actually been here 13 years. The house had been empty for about 5 years, sort of derelict looking, with no garden, and I set to task to pull it all together. This is my labor of love. On Sundays, we serve the buffet, the Planters Buffet, serving approximately 25 to 30 different West Indian dishes. We're very popular with locals, as well as expats and visitors to the island. Many famous people come through our doors, such as the young Prince Harry recently, his uncle Prince Edward. We hosted a lunch for him for the Duke of Edinburgh Awards. Your ex-Prime Minister, Tony Blair, had a party here for 19 of his family. And the wonderful lady who I absolutely fell in love with, Helen Mirren. Helen came for lunch and spent the entire evening. I run Fish Upon with my wife, Rain. We're big on weddings as well. We can host a wedding for 2, or we can hold up to about 300. We excel in flowers. We use mainly local flowers unless otherwise requested. And as you may have noticed today, the flower display of all the hibiscus and bougainvillea. Tremendous when you use them, especially for the overseas brides. Most of them walk down the island and cry when they see the flowers. That's the effect we have on you. The bride can dress here. She can be here for the whole day. And if you're seated inside for a sit-down dinner, we can hold up to 85. There are probably 4 or 5 locations that the actual ceremony could take place. It would be very easy to arrange a wedding at Fish Upon Great House in the parish of St. Thomas. Most of the overseas weddings are done a year before, but you know, we can handle a wedding within a couple of weeks. The reasons I feel it's a perfect venue for a wedding is mainly because of what Rain and I do. We give 150%. We also are very creative, artistic people, and we love working with weddings and the flowers. I grow flowers, you know, it's my passion, my life. It's also a very historical house. It was built in 1635. There's an amazing history behind it. It's a working plantation surrounded by about approximately 500 acres of sugar. You can smell it from the factory, actually, and a perfect venue for your wedding.
Wish you were here. Me too. Up next, even more locations to host your dream wedding. Welcome back. So far, we've met the hotel staff, the videographer, the photographer, the man of the cloth, and the wedding planner. And now, here's some more top wedding venues to whet your appetite even more for the island of Barbados.
Barbados is a destination. We have a population of about 260,000 people, 166 square miles. We're relatively small, but we're a very well-established island. From the north of Barbados, you have lots of historic views and locations where you can do weddings, right down to your Bridgetown location. Of course, we have two oceans. We have the West Coast, we have the Caribbean Sea, and then we have the Atlantic on the East Coast. So you have an option of both. A very nice location to have your wedding is St. Nicholas Abbey, with the historical background, and then you have all the wonderful trees in the back as your backdrop for your reception. Also, you have your own rum refinery right there.
I'm Heather, and I'm house manager here at St. Nicholas Abbey. St. Nicholas Abbey is an old plantation great house, built somewhere between 1650 to 1660, roughly 350 years old. And here our visitors come and have a tour of the house. They also get to go down into the building at the back where we bottle rum, sugar and molasses. We have a beautiful terrace at the back overlooking the gully, and they get a complimentary drink, and perhaps on a Wednesday they see the grinding of the sugar cane. So it's really an old plantation great house come back to life. Here we are on the terrace at St. Nicholas Abbey. Now this is an ideal location for a wedding. We have a beautiful terrace here overlooking our gully. Lovely trees, mahogany, fruit trees, the old silk cotton tree, a lovely chandelier hanging from the silk cotton tree, which we light at night, and of course we light up the gully as well. And then just beyond the terrace is this beautiful building which Mr. Warren designed, and in there of course is an area where you could have all your catering. As you can see, this is a beautiful spot for a wedding. There have been a couple weddings here, small weddings, very intimate weddings. One here in the gardens and one at the terrace at the back, overlooking the gully. Very small weddings, not more than probably 12, 15, 20 people. We're here now in the gazebo. This is the gazebo area. And this is an area where you could actually have your ceremony. And of course, we have a little lawn here where you could have your guests sitting and watching, or you could have your full party out here. We have a new owner here, a Mr. Larry Warren, who is a Barbadian and the first Barbadian to own the property. He bought the property in 2006. And at that time, it was just the house looking quite a bit shabby and dilapidated. He has brought it back to life. He's bringing back all the old activities that used to happen at St. Nicholas. Down in the very back, we have a beautiful building where we bottle rum, sugar and molasses. And every Wednesday here, we grind at St. Nicholas with the old steam engine, which he has got working again after 60 years. This is the gentleman's chair or library chair, made in England in 1936 at a cost of £42. Now this is how the gentleman would get in. With him here, he would have his drink, his ashtray and a bell, and he would ring each time he needed something. He can prop up his newspaper and read, he can lower it back down and it becomes a desk. He can do his book work, or he can have a meal here. Then after his meal, he can set up his book for reading. He doesn't even have to hold the book. At night, he can shift the lamp, press this little button here, and it goes right back to form a bed. And the best part, it's on wheels. So if he wants to go into the next room, he rings the bell and they push him into the next room. We're in the parish of St. Peter, not far from here, Speightstown. Just up the hill, Cherry Tree Hill, a beautiful spot where you can get a fantastic view of the East Coast. We're in a good spot, and as you can tell, it's beautiful and cool.
For a bride and groom, if you want to have the rich and famous wedding here in Barbados, we can do it, fireworks included. But if you're looking to just to get away, get married, do a simple ceremony on the beach with sand between your toes, it is very cost effective to come here and do that. The unique thing about Edgewater is the backdrop. You have the crashing waves from the Atlantic Ocean. So if you're a surfer, this is your spot.
My name is Erica Arthur. I'm the front office manager of the New Edgewater. We are located on the east coast of Barbados, the most scenic part of the island. Weddings at the New Edgewater is very popular. We cater for just 2 persons, very intimate, up to a maximum of 100. We also have the wedding ceremonies and the receptions. We can do all the arrangements, starting from having the marriage license, meeting with the minister, up to preparing a wonderful buffet, up to 100 people. Planning a wedding in Barbados, this lawn is a perfect area for a maximum of 100 people, which we cater for. You can still have all your pictures in the background with the ocean and the shrubbery. People contact us a year before, some just 2 or 3 months before. Some just decide they're on the island, hey Erica, can we get married here? What is the procedure? And they're doing it in 2 days. You can have a very quiet wedding to a very extravagant wedding where we have a whole set of different lightings. We have steel pan as a background. We also have entertainers come in, you have bands. Downtown, you can have just 2 persons with our staff members being their witness. Very quiet retreat. This is our main dining room area, which seats a maximum of 100 people. This is where we will hold our wedding dinners or lunches. Due to the strong trade winds of the East Coast, we are not permitted to have the bay function groups on the outside for lunch or dinner. The food is all local cuisine, known as the best buffet on the island, and I'm sure the locals and international guests alike can attest to that.
Mr. Hunt at Hunt's Gardens is a delightful eccentric. His gardens lend you from the top level and you can go down gradually into the bottom level of a cave, which he's turned into a garden.
My name's Anthony Hunt and this is Hunt's Gardens in the beautiful hills of St. Joseph. The area is called Castle Grant and I've owned it for about 20 years and the garden is about 7 years old. Of course, these fabulous trees were not planted by me. We just did the undergrowth 7 years ago and brought the steps down to the bottom. This was a huge cave at one time, millions of years ago, and now all the plants that I found growing here natively were the plants from the gullies in Barbados. And I've traveled all over the world and collected plants for my entire life, and of course bringing them here and putting them all together in a collection. Weddings would be particularly good in this garden and do really well up to this time because I've had several before. You can have an orchestra, and because of the shape of the whole garden, the sound is amazing. You enter through the main gates, and the main gates actually were the old gates of the Sandy Lane Hotel that were designed by Oliver Messel that was here when, of course, the first Sandy Lane was built. And I got them when they took the whole place apart. And then you move through on a coral path, and then as you get near to the gully steps, you enter on some old factory bricks that came out of the chimneys of the factories. You're seeing here many of the plants in the garden that I've collected over the years. The palms are fantastic. They give such a wonderful tropical feeling and are fantastic on any day, especially when there's a wedding. We have wonderful orchid collection, begonias. They do extremely well, and the birds scatter the seeds all around here. This place can hold from, you know, just the bride and groom with possibly the bishop. I think if you have the bishop with the great hat, the mitre, it looks really super. I've had one with him down here, and the colours of the hat and the robes really look good. But we could have from, you know, just a small wedding, 6, 10, up to maybe 150. And there are places upstairs that can be for a meal after the wedding. It's a very romantic setting. We've had people call me up and say, can I bring my girlfriend and get engaged in your garden? And they come down the steps, and sometimes you don't see them for a few hours, so you don't know where they've gone to become engaged.
One couple comes to mind in particular when I think of a wow story. A couple that I did their wedding some 10 years ago. The bride was English with Indian background, and the groom was from Trinidad. And they both got married in Barbados with a traditional Indian/Christian ceremony. Today, they have 2 wonderful children, and they still live in the UK, and they contact me every time they come to Barbados with their little ones. If you're on a budget and you want a location with great photographic opportunities with artifacts from the plantation era, Sunbury would be your location.
Hi, my name is Kelly. I am here in front of the Sunbury Great House. We are one of the most frequented places on the island for weddings. We cater for weddings from 200 to 300, and we can do weddings pretty much any day of the week. Welcome to the inside of the Great House. This is where you would actually have your small, intimate candlelit dinner, seating minimum of 12 guests up to a maximum of 28 guests. It's a 5-course candlelit dinner, and it's served with all the old, actual antiques which we have on display. Photographers love the area. It's a great photo opportunity. We've got all the old artifacts, including the cannon, old carriages, old cartwheels. We've got everything here on the grounds. Our weddings are usually catered to for both local and overseas guests. Most overseas guests would come from the UK. We have the occasional from the US, and then outside of that, as far as Africa and Australia and so on. This is another one of our locations. This is our Bougainvillea Arch. This is the most natural arch you'll come across in Barbados. It's one of the most beautiful and is most popular with our UK guests. We do all our catering on our own. We offer from breakfast style, brunch, there's the buffet lunch, buffet dinner, cocktail party, cocktail and deli, and candlelight dinner. And if the client requests a special menu, we can also cater for that.
In Barbados, catering can run you from traditional Barbadian menus straight through to Thai menu, a Chinese, Italian. It's totally up to you. You tell me what you like as your favorite foods as a bride and groom, and I source the chefs. Now, most of our chefs who freelance in Barbados or have catering services, they're ex-chefs from top restaurants around the island. When you have a catering service provided for you, you know you're getting the best. In terms of standard of food, presentation, serving staff, you're getting top-notch, 5-star. For the ladies who love flowers, Orchid World will be your choice. They can actually color match your scheme with their orchids.
Hi, my name is Ralph York. I'm the director of Sonojas Inc. We're a wedding management company, and we partner Orchid World in producing and allowing persons to have the wedding of their dreams at Orchid World. We manage a number of properties, one of which is Orchid World, and Orchid World is an absolutely stunning property to get married at. It stands in about 4 acres of grounds, and they're all beautifully manicured, but in lots of different ways. And nature's interfered a lot in terms of local orchids that grow here all year round, and then others that are bought in and then just work wonderfully well in this garden setting. And we incorporate the orchids into the different wedding areas that persons can use here as well, and we're standing in one of those now. This is the lower part of the garden, which is wonderful for weddings. It's beautifully breezy. This time of year it's wonderfully cool, but all year round you get a lovely breeze, and you get to look across the cane grounds, which sugarcane is the major crop in Barbados, and it's just a wonderful area to look across with the beautiful valley and across to the hills of St. Joseph and St. Thomas and down to St. Michael and Bridgetown, which is the capital of the island. So this is a beautiful area that can be used for ceremonies, and it can also be used for drinks for clients if you wish to get married in a different part of the garden. The beauty of this is that it's shaded in parts, as you can see, and also it overlooks the most spectacular green valley, which is the very centre of the island, which carries you all the way back down to Bridgetown. It's just a stunning place to get married. And in addition to that, we have the show houses all around us for the guests. Whilst they're mingling and the bride and groom are having their photographs taken, the guests can be wandering around and having a look at the beauty of the orchids and soaking up the atmosphere at the same time. There's a wonderful narrow garden sandwiched between the show house of the Phalaenopsis orchids and then one of the other Vanda orchid houses. So you have colour surrounding you, and they're just an absolutely beautiful, wonderful, romantic setting. Each of the locations has its own specific beauty. We have a lot of local weddings. We also cater for a lot of overseas weddings from both the UK, US and Canadian market. And it's a very diverse property. Average wedding size, I would say, is somewhere in the region of 70 to 80 persons here. It gives it a beautiful boutique style. And we incorporate the orchids again into both the ceremony area and into the reception area as well. So it gives you that wonderful splash of colour all the way around. And it depends whether you want to add the splash of colour to your costume or whether you're in traditional or formal or casual attire. It really doesn't matter. We cater to suit. So here we are at the end of the route that the bride would take, and we're looking directly at the gazebo, which is absolutely stunning. The gazebo stands in the shadow of the bearded fig tree, which is the national tree of Barbados. Some say that that's where we got our name, Los Barbados, and you can get married under the oldest trees on the island, overlooking the most beautiful valley on the island with the orchids in the foreground. And we decorate the gazebo to the client's colours in terms of draping, decorating, And in terms of the orchids, which again form a very important part of the wedding ceremony, as well as they do the reception and every part of the process that we have at Orchid World. Here's a beautiful property that allows you to incorporate the beauty of flowers, and orchid is the flower of love. You only need to look at an orchid and you feel love. If you're a woman, you feel exactly the same way. So you're incorporating the flower of love into the most beautiful celebration of love that you could possibly have.
Now that's what I call a colour-coordinated wedding. Up next, food and drink Barbadian style, and we pay a visit to two of the best restaurants in the whole of the Caribbean. If you're a food lover, then Barbados is your island. With fresh seafood practically on your doorstep, you're sure never to be far away from the perfect romantic meal. And these restaurants can also host your wedding. Coming up, we also see how you can marry in the unique location of Harrison's Cave. But first, to the restaurants.
A good place to have your wedding is here at the Tides restaurant. Very upmarket, very chic along the west coast of Barbados. Tides was voted as one of the top restaurants in the world by the Zagat survey. Here at Tides, you do have outdoor areas, indoor areas, and you have definitely oceanside dining. Here at Tides, you don't necessarily have to hire the whole location out, but you can if you want. If it's just a small wedding party of 10 people, they do have a location that you can have your wedding party just there, you and your family.
I'm Julie Packer, and I'm the operations manager here at the Tides restaurant. As you enter the restaurant, we have an art gallery, the Tides Art Gallery, mainly Caribbean artists.
My name is Henry Seeley. I'm the restaurant manager at Tides. Our cuisine is a combination of English, French, and West Indian. Guy, who was the owner and the chef, he was trained at Gap Roche, and he worked with Gordon Ramsay. And so we incorporate more international cuisine because most of our clientele, they are international clientele. They've dined all over the place. And therefore, you have to incorporate what they are accustomed to, but at the same time, you try to give them something that's local or Caribbean.
Most of our inquiries do come by email. They make the initial contact. They tell us what they want to do, how many people, date, and we put something together specifically for them. We don't have any sort of ready-made packages. We customize specifically for their needs.
Everybody comes here. We've had Prime Minister of England, we get all the film stars, all the famous celebrities who come on the island, they come to the Tides.
In terms of weddings, we can offer exclusive use of the entire restaurant, and we seat about 120 people. Or we can do semi-private in our garden gazebo, and that seats about 36 people. It's semi-private, you know, you could be sat up there and nobody really knows that you're there. I think we have it all. Location, location, location. Service, food. Typically, our weddings are small, in the sort of 20, 25 by number, but we have done some really big weddings, local, English, Russian, people from all over the world, and they all fly in and have a fabulous time.
Another good place to host a wedding is here at Champers. I haven't yet hosted a wedding here, but I cannot wait. This location has hosted some of the most famous people throughout the Caribbean, some of our dignitaries, as well as people like Cliff Richard, Michael Winner, Tony Blair. Champers is special to me. I am one of the people who come here quite often. You can always guarantee that the food will be the same all the time. Their standard is very high. They're actually rated #1 in the Zagat survey as #1 in terms of the Caribbean cuisine. Also, too, you have an art gallery where we're standing right now, and there's this stunning view of the south coast out on the balcony.
My name is Sonia, and we're at the beautiful location, the Champers restaurant on the south coast of Barbados. We are very consistent. We have a wonderful location. It's the most panoramic view I think you can find on the island. The service is good. Our servers are lovely. We have a lot of amenities. We can do weddings. We can do private functions. We have an art gallery. Our food is Caribbean with a bit of an international flair. We're well known for our Parmesan barracuda and our coconut shrimp. Our restaurant is on 2 levels. We can hold about 250 people. We can go from 2 to as many as 100 or 150 persons, 200, depending on what you would like. You just let us know and we try to aim to please. We have an art gallery. It is 90% local artists. If they're not local, they are West Indian. We can also use it for private functions. If you actually wanted to get married here, we have the gazebo where you can come with a beautiful sunset and get married. And then we can also arrange for the dinner reception after. It's perfect for a wedding because I think if you're coming to the islands, the location alone is just breathtaking. And I think it's something that will be completely memorable if you wanted to get married here.
And our last venue isn't actually on the beautiful island of Barbados, it's in it. See for yourself.
Hi, I'm Jolene, tour coordinator at Harrison's Cave. Harrison's Cave is a coral limestone cave located in the center of Barbados. It was first discovered way back in 1795 by an English doctor. It is now owned by the government of Barbados, and we're open to offer show caves 5 days a week. We also offer special events such as weddings, where we can host your wedding on the inside. We usually recommend that you use the rotunda room. That is a semicircular area where you can take your photos, you can actually have your ceremony, recite your vows there. Afterwards, we invite you to use our conference facilities where you can have your reception. Now, this room is the rotunda room and the perfect spot for your wedding. The layout, as you can see, it's circular and it's designed for the bride and her party. If they want to take their party shoots, we design them in an amphitheater style where she can stand just in the area of the formations in the background. You will see the formations and the running water, and that's where we suggest that you take your wedding shoots and your group photos. We also can design for you. You can have your altar call done here, your wedding nuptials. You can do all that inside this room, and we can offer you a little setup. We can bring the furniture you want into this area, and we can have it all designed for you here, so you can do your complete wedding here. Harrison's Cave wedding is for the kind of bride who wants to get away from the norm, the person who goes off the beaten track, the person who is open to novel ideas, and you have to be prepared to get your hair wet, be natural, things like that. It's that type of wedding. So if you're that type of person, Harrison's Cave is the place for you. We can cater for a party of, say, up to 60 people. This allows us to utilize 2 of our trams to transport you inside of the cave. If you want to have everybody photographed and contained within an area, we do recommend at least 60 persons. Your dress is entirely up to you. We recommend you can wear your shorts and have your casual wedding, or if you want to go the full gamut and have your gown, never mind, it'll get a bit nasty, a bit wet. We have cleaning services for that. So feel free. We don't specify what you will wear, just what you feel comfortable in. The weddings that we have hosted at Harrison's Cave, one of them was a very young couple. They were now starting out, and for them, it was a cost factor. They wanted to do something which was special, which was different, and for them, that was the event. We accompanied them into the Harrison's Cave. They actually used some of our staff here as witnesses or parts of the party, and that you can also do, so you don't have to worry yourself about having an expensive bridal party. We will also be willing to be your witness. We can also administer it in terms of getting your priest, your pastor, or someone here to conduct your marriage rites for you. So those are the kinds of persons that would come to Harrison's Cave to have a wedding done.
What a show. We've shown you the best Barbados has to offer. From the dreamy venues...
Most of them walk down the island cry when they see the flowers. That's the effect we have on you.
The top wedding planners...
All you have to do is dream it, and we will plan it for you.
The friendly staff...
We have a lot of persons who want to get away for weddings, have cozy sunshine weddings in the Caribbean, and obviously Rex Resorts is the place to be.
And even the exotic caves. All that's left is to wish you your Barbados wedding.